How can we shift our world by 2030? Well, there's only one way, and that is by shifting ourselves. Not too long ago, I was maybe in your position, wondering what my purpose was here on the planet. I was interested in wellness and personal development and yoga, but to be honest, I never saw how those things could be connected to my life. I thought they were the things you do to relieve stress or to help you find balance in this crazy world, but you had to have that thing that you did 9 to 5 that drove you halfway insane to pay your bills, because that's all I saw around me. I thought that this life is a sacrifice. In fact, I thought sacrifice was a beautiful thing. My parents came to this country as immigrants, sacrificing their joy, their freedom for me to be here. So I set it on my pedestal to sacrifice my life for something else. And as I began that journey of thinking that if I just sacrificed enough, then I would eventually become a good person. Because I thought that to change the world, you had to sacrifice your joy. I didn't realize that your greatest joy is also your greatest form of purpose and activism. That we can change the world by oozing with joy, excitement, and fulfillment for what we do. And this only comes when we are in alignment with our Dharma, our soul's purpose, the big reason why we are here. I believe that the next 10 years will be the greatest jump in the number of people who find their Dharma. Because truthfully, we have reached a precipice that this planet cannot go back from. We are in the midst of this great ceremonial experience of 2020, where we have been confronted by our deepest fears, our deepest triggers, those underlying energetic cords that we have had inside of ourselves have come face to face into our awareness as we have been stripped away from everything that was distracting us in the world around us. And with this nowhere else to run, we have come face to face with those shadows and realized that those very obstacles are our roadmap to our Dharma. So what does this word mean, your Dharma? Your Dharma is your soul's purpose. It is the big reason why you are here, a Sanskrit word that originated many thousands of years ago, but really has the same meaning today. That no one was born here by accident, and there are no extras. The fact that you have chosen to incarnate at this planet at this time shows that there is a reason why you are here. The earth is always expanding, we are always growing, and we are always up-leveling in some way. However, it takes many different people to be focused on different aspects of society, of the environment, of the family, etc., for this great awakening to happen. So I believe that we came onto this planet knowing exactly how we were meant to serve. Maybe we didn't know the job title or how to use the internet or anything like that, but we did know deep within our souls that we came here to address something that only we could have. In our childhoods, our obstacles, the very roadblocks that we have been confronted with are our unique schooling. They have allowed us to see this issue from such an up-close and personal perspective. Whether you grew up with a family of addicts, or whether you faced a health problem like myself, or whether you overcame poverty or heartbreak or whatever else it is, you were able to see that firsthand, up front and personal. And this allowed you to see the deeper nuances within this issue, the triggers and all of the surroundings that you intellectually could not have known had you not been in the experience. And this happened for you, not to you, but for you. This happened for you because it was the unique soul curriculum that you needed to see this issue from a higher perspective and bring about healing. So I believe the next 10 years will radically shift when people remember their dharmas. It's not so much about finding something outside of yourself as it is remembering the deep inner knowing that exists inside of your DNA. What matters is what you are being called to serve, how you are being asked to show up, your curiosities, your excitement, those questions that you have, that thing that you can't stop thinking about. The fact that you have chosen to listen to this right now shows that there is a greater divine force working through all of us right now, and it is pulling you in a direction. So you don't have to fight against it. You don't have to only learn through pain. You don't have to feel like you are confused. No, there is no roadmap, but there is a greater plan. And when you listen to the nudges of the universe, that plan continues to reveal itself. We are shifting away from the way that our school system has taught many of us, myself as a product of the public school system. We have been taught that there are a set of rules to do things, and if we follow those rules, then we'll get XYZ result. So we followed and realized that the result was not what we thought it was. The result has left us feeling empty and worthless and purposeless. And what we've realized is that as we chase happiness, we can't have happiness without purpose. And this is why I believe that happiness is actually a byproduct of living in alignment with your purpose. You can do the things to make you happy, but if you're not addressing this deeper question in your soul, why am I here? The eternal question that feels so colossal that every time it comes to our minds, we push it away because we know that something big is going to have to happen for us to solve it. That question. The question that you used to ask when you were a kid, but for some reason aren't anymore. That question. So let's start asking ourselves, why am I here? How can I be of service? What am I being guided to create? What is seeking to be brought to this world through me? And as we do that, the path continues to reveal itself. It is like we are on this dark road and we have a flashlight and all we can see are the next couple steps ahead. You're not going to see the end of the road, and I guarantee you there are going to be twists and turns. And sometimes you're going to spiral back to where you were before, but from a different perspective. And this is how we learn. And this is how we grow. And this is how we evolve. It's not from seeing the end of the road, having a money back guarantee, and then taking action. It's through continuously, day by day, moment by moment, follow what feels most expansive for us. Now notice I say expansive rather than good. Because sometimes what's most expansive for you might not feel good in the moment. It might feel really freaking scary. It might feel like the thing that you're actually the most resistant to. But it still is the path of least resistance because it's the way the universe is guiding you. However, you may have many blocks because of society, because of conditioning, because of whatever reason that are preventing you from seeing that this is meant for you. So you're fighting against it, and then finally when you surrender to it, when you say, I know I'm meant to be a healer. I know I'm meant to coach others. I know I'm meant to bring holistic products to the world, whatever it is for you. When you surrender to that inner knowing, you experience what we call in Sanskrit kriya. So Kriya is effortless flow. It is synchronicities. It is when you meet the right person at the right time and have that exact conversation that puts that thing in your head that leads you to the next one. And before you know it, you're 10 steps ahead. Whereas before you felt like you were trudging each one. That is how life is meant to be lived. We've grown up hearing things like, life's tough, get a helmet. A series of unfortunate events, and we've gotten used to living our lives so out of alignment with our Dharma. So when we make this shift towards Kriya, towards flow, you may think this feels too good to be true. This can't last very long. I'm always used to only good things happening for a period of time, and then they get hard again. So this is why I invite you to make Kriya your new normal. It is normal to have synchronicities every day. It is normal to feel a stream or download of creativity or inspiration or excitement or awareness streaming through you. It is normal to even feel overwhelmed by all of the things that you want to create in this world. That's a beautiful thing. That means you are tapped in. So instead of pushing this away or thinking it's not practical or it's not realistic or whatever other limiting beliefs the world has placed upon you, what if you treated it as a message from the divine? What if you treated it as the sole assignment that you were born on this planet to create? And what if instead of trying to manifest that thing that you want and you begrudgingly say, I want this, I want this, I want this, why don't you instead listen to where you are being pulled, to the questions that people continue to come to you for, to the very curiosities that you have, but you're not even sure how they're ever going to be practical or turn into a career? Don't worry about that. Just follow the flow. Because as you follow it, one thing leads to the next. And that flashlight takes you to the next step and the next step. And as you're winding through the roads, you have complete clarity and assurance because you know that you can trust yourself. Because you know that every time you've trusted yourself before, it has taken you places that you would have never, even with your business plan, thought possible. So how are we going to shift the world? By listening, by tuning in, and then by taking aligned action with that information. This isn't about having big dreams and putting them on your vision board and hoping they're going to happen for you. It's not that. We live on a physical planet. This is about allowing yourself to think big, move through that vata, that air energy, like we call it in Ayurveda. But then take action. Take that one idea that feels like it wants to birth through you. It's the most exciting for you. If you had 1 year to live, this is what you'd want to bring. And move it through the pitta, the fire energy. Take action. Keep going. And from that place of action and manifesting things into physical reality, I want you, when it feels in alignment, when it feels like, okay, I'm ready for the next evolution of what this is, to sit into the kapha, the earth energy. Ground. Ask yourself, what is asking to come through me next? What is the next iteration of who I am? Because guess what, guys? Dharma is not a one-time shop. It is not a thing you figure out once and you're good forever. It is a constant evolution. So continue, even if you're in something that's extremely successful and it's moving and the demand is there and you could see yourself doing it for a long time, listen to that part of you that says there might be something else bigger asking to come through me. And you can only listen to that when you sit inside that sacred pause. This is why we have so many ideas when we're doing the dishes or on a walk, because we're listening. And from that point of listening, the kapha, the idea naturally comes forth. And this is how we move our dharma through our doshas, the Ayurvedic archetypes. So if we continue to allow ourselves to move through this cycle, the idea, the action, the rest and reevaluation, we continue to be a channel for the ideas that are seeking to come through us. We allow ourselves to be a vessel for the information. Rather than trying to figure it out on our own, we open up to receive and act in accordance. This is how life is meant to be lived. This is your birthright. So I invite you to make Kriya your new normal. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Sahara Rose. I'm a best-selling Ayurveda author and host of the Highest Self podcast, and so grateful to be connecting with you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and experience here. Namaste.